Right, afternoon everyone. I'm just doing the last of the hay for this year. I only do one cut. There's no second cut for me. And this is the last field. I've been leaving it sort of as long as I can, or as long as I dare, for it to grow, because as you can see, it's a little bit poor. Yeah, but it's hay and it doesn't cost me out, so, well, it didn't cost me out other than to make it. So we'll get it made. We're supposed to have a good week, and this is a fairly thin crop anyway. It should dry out nice and quick. So yeah, this will be the last, well, unless there's anybody wants any late contract work doing or anything, this will be the last hay that I make this year. I think it's the 3rd or 4th of August, Sunday. So we have had this field a lot later, but because we've been having this heat wave, I'm kind of thinking I should get it done while we've still got this heat wave before it just changes. There's been a lot of combines out recently, and I reckon they're going to make it rain, so I'll get on with it now. But yeah, it's a bit thin, this field, and it's very rough and very sort of windy and wobbly, but it'll make some bales. It's going to be quite short of hay this year from the sound of it, so it's definitely going to be worth me making it to sell it. I know in my 2 good fields I was down sort of 100 bales in 6 acres, so it's not yielded as well this year with having too much rain and then not enough. I suppose the payoff for that is it was a lot easier to get it made and get it in. There was no big rush to beat the weather or anything, and this year I was actually able to let the bales sit out in the field while I got them led in, which was nice. It meant we weren't rushing. Here's something good for you. If you look across, can you see this track sort of down there? That's walkers who just decide that they just want to paddle right across the middle of the field rather than walking around the outside. I mean, the other side of that hedge there is a road anyway, like a tarmac road. It's not open to the public. Big yellow sign on the gates, no trespassing and all the rest of it, and people still walk up here, and I don't know, it's funny. You wouldn't dare do it. Well, I wouldn't dare do it. Wouldn't dare just paddle across somebody's field. I mean, it's not my field, like, it belongs to the estate, but it still belongs to somebody, and there is no footpath here, there's no bridleway or anything like that. It's just people have decided just to paddle across a field, and you know, it's a bit of a funny one, that. It's beggars belief though, because even if you did want to walk around somebody's field, you wouldn't paddle right across the middle of it, you would walk around the outside of it, around the headlands, wouldn't you? But I don't know, some people. You can see it there where it goes, and it goes through there is a gap in the hedge. Just go over that bump. There's a gap in the hedge there, which people are walking through, where we just quietly and every now and again keep pulling a branch down or a couple of brambles across to try and block it up. But you know, I think because this field's owned by the estate, people just assume that they've right of way to just wander across it aimlessly, because it's, you know, I almost think the way people are on the estate is that they think it's public land. They don't seem to think it's private. They don't seem to have any respect for it anyway. But if it were my field and it were full of corn, you'd be out with bloody 12 boring dogs. What the fucking hell do you think you're doing, you know? So I wouldn't stand for it. Got a really nasty corner here, which is nice, and it just happens that all the nasty corners and everything in this field are the bits that seem to grow best. Nice flat bit in the middle don't hardly grow, and all these nadgery bits do. There is a bit on. I should get a couple of 100 bales off of it, and like I say, given that people are starting to say there's going to be a shortage of fodder this year, it should be worth me making it. So one thing that I have done, I put the video up of fitting the loader suspension the other day, and well, I've driven to work with it this morning without anything on the front of the loader, and it wasn't really, I don't think it was working, you know, it didn't have enough weight. So what I'm just starting to do now, I did a bit when I was at the workshop, and I've done a bit in the field, is the accumulator has a valve in the end of it, almost like a tyre valve, only much higher pressure. And I'm just starting to let the odd little bit of wind out of it, just to see if we can get it. I don't want the loader to work, the suspension to work a huge amount without any weight on, but I just want it to have a little bit of give, and just keep letting a bit of pressure out until it starts to do it. Should be getting there soon with it. Yeah, I mean, it works lovely with weight on the front of the loader, a bucket or a muck fork or anything, but without, the loader doesn't quite have enough weight on its own to make it work, so just keep letting a touch of pressure out until it just starts to move. I think it'll definitely make life easier in this field when it comes to collecting the bales up with grab. I'll be able to leave it on, and I might actually be able to make it with them grab from wherever they were to the trailer without having them falling out, which would be nice. Right, well, I'm not gonna film much more of this. I might just do a bit of a sort of head cam when I'm tedding it and when I'm turning it and bailing it maybe. But I'm not gonna do a full video on haymaking. I've already got one of them out this year. So I shall leave it at that and crack on with this, and I'll catch you next time. Right, see you later.